M-Class Emails.
Oh my fuck, I love this show.
This is the best show that we do. The other one sucks dick.
I mean, I didn't want to say
it. Somebody had to.
Somebody had to.
I'm Jeff.
I'm Josh.
And this is the program where we open up your emails, read your burning questions, and give you half-assed answers that you feel haven't helped you learn anything at all.
Yeah. That's exactly the show. Holy shit.
Okay. Let's start out with a good email.
Okay, let's not start out with a bad one.
It better be good, Timothy.
Oh, shit.
Timothy Johnson.
Oh, man. I bet that's a fake name.
It sounds like a fake name. No one would ever be named that normally. It's too cool.
What's your name, son? Timothy Johnson. Where do you live, son? 123 Timothy Street.
Is that on the corner of Johnson Avenue?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway, Tim writes, I'm going to call you Tim.
Yeah.
Tim writes, first time, long time here.
Hi.
Y'all is that a word?
It is now.
Y'all finally got to my personal favorite Star Trek series. It's time to double punch some spoonheads. See, it's not the one you think.
Okay, good.
Time to double punch some spoonheads, sword some Klingons, forget about the Maquis, and do drugs with the great value predators. Let's get those political intrigue engines running, because we got a runabout to catch, baby. God, this guy is great.
This is great so far.
Anyway, just wanted to say that you two are the best.
No, you're the best, Timothy Johnson.
Yeah, we believe in your name now.
Or whatever your real name is.
Just like with the Continue Cast, Syndication Station, and, Blantasy Bliction.
Oh, I don't know that one.
I cannot wait for each new episode. They make my week. When's that Patreon coming out? Or that Talking Over Movies podcast? I need them.
Oh, man.
They're coming.
Soon-ish, hopefully. We're working real hard. Both of us are working real hard.
We're not working that hard, guys. But it's coming. Don't worry. Guess I'll throw out a pitch it or ditch it for DS9.
Oh shit. Yes, pitch or ditch it.
The crew goes to Ryza, but this time Worf isn't a butthole. And he signed it Keep on Jizzardin. Which is great.
I feel like that's been said before. I think that's definitely something that we said before.
Probably so. Like, Worf being a butthole on Ryza is like the only thing that makes that episode have any conflict.
Yeah, because it's Ryza, so like what could possibly happen on Ryza?
Yeah, they were like weird terrorists that like hated leisure. They
like
were like
eco-terrorists.
You fucking leisurely assholes enjoying yourselves. I hate this.
So every summer in Star Trek Online, there's the Ryza event where you go to Ryza and you do fun vacation-y games, like where you ride a surfboard and race around and fly jetpacks and stuff.
Sounds fun as hell.
And it used to be before the new lighting patch, which it looks amazing. There was a day-night cycle, so like the daytime would turn into nighttime. It was really cool. And for years they've been talking about, well, fans of the game have been talking about adding a element like that where like the eco-terrorists come
and they like fun as hell.
Yeah, and you have to like stop them and then you get like rewards and shit. So like that, I just wanted to talk about that because I love that game and they should do that.
Man, I really need to start playing it.
I know, but it's wintertime soon, so you get to do the Q Winter Wonderland.
Oh man. Anyway, thanks for writing in, Timothy. We appreciate it.
I would pitch it because I love Worf and Ryza, so we could think of the story later.
I'd like to see Worf have fun on Ryza.
Yeah, I just want to see him go get like his Klingon DS'd by like 7 Ryzians, male or female. I don't care.
All at once.
Yeah, who cares? There's 7 of them. Mix in a few of each.
Yeah, why not? Why not? Our next email is from Nick Hayes.
Hi.
Who says, pitch it or ditch it.
Oh, shit.
TNG. Wesley has reached that special age where he's spending hours on end in the holodeck. And oblivious Beverly asks Data to investigate since he's already in his Sherlock cosplay. I don't want to watch any episode where Wesley Crusher beats it. I just don't.
Yeah, if it were anybody else, I would pitch it.
Yeah, I don't want to watch any episode with Wesley Crusher, regardless of the content of the episode.
Yeah. Because then some stupid shit would happen. Like, they get locked in, and then the sex hologram would turn into Moriarty or something. Evil Lincoln.
Evil Lincoln was real. That was really Lincoln.
Genghis Khan, Evil Lincoln.
JJ Trek. George Lucas oversees the special edition remaster of Star Trek Generations, in which William Shatner is digitally removed and replaced with Chris Pine. I'm gonna say ditch it.
No, yeah, not because of George Lucas. I'm not a George Lucas hater, but
you're a George Lucas apologist, is what you are.
I am. I'm fine with that.
I am not. I wouldn't call myself a George Lucas hater, but I don't apologize for him either.
Yeah. When it was his, though, like, he could ruin his thing.
Yeah, you can ruin whatever you want if you make it.
He's just a more popular Dan Harmon.
That's true. I don't even know much about Dan Harmon, but I know that about him.
Dan Harmon's just like, I don't want to do this anymore, fuck it.
TOS. The crew of the Enterprise find themselves on a planet whose culture has been completely patterned after Earth's 1944 Nazi society. It turns out it's just Earth in 2019.
2019? Oh, ditch it, please.
Ditch it, and in real life, hopefully.
Yeah, let's not do that.
2019 is a very conservative estimate for how soon that's going to happen, by the way.
Yeah, I think he picked that because of the next year's of the election year, so.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, Constitution suspended. Whoopsies, no more elections. Uh-oh.
We're not gonna fucking exist at that point anyway, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Love the show, my dudes. Keep being funny about Star Trek and shit. Nick Hayes.
Thank you. Great email.
Yeah, thanks, Nick. That was awesome. I appreciate that. Our next email is a long one.
Okay.
Wait just a second here.
It's so long you have to unscroll it.
I do. I have to work out what the hell it's happening. Okay. Our next email is from Steve Nemzik.
Oh, yes.
Who says, "Hey, Trek boys!
Trek boys!
So you're about to do the Voyager pilot Caretaker, and I have to ask, do you think Chakotay's decision to ram his ship into the Kazon warship was warranted, or is he just a shit pilot? I mean, it took a lot of damage, but B'Elanna could fix just about anything given time."
I think they didn't want to have two ships on the show. Yeah, that's what I think.
It made it a lot easier to just have one.
They were like, we gotta get rid of this ship. Let's crash it.
It doesn't make any sense that their photon torpedoes don't harm the ships, but ramming a ship into it destroys it.
Yeah, it's made out of the same shit. The warp core is the same stuff as the photon torpedo.
Whatever. Anyway, given you're coming up on the Voyager pilot, I thought I would do a special Voyager Pitch It or Ditch It. Only this time, I'll be more serious.
Okay, also, no Molly Coke mules.
You're going to be very disappointed. Also, my mind, well, you will never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy, so no promises. 1. The hot Betazoid Helm Officer, Lieutenant Stoddy, played by Alicia Coppola, didn't die, but suffered brain damage, resulting in paranoid delusions and psychotic episodes. Convinced Janeway has tried to murder her using her powers. She used her powers immediately upon waking and stayed hidden by the Akampa until Voyager left.
Oh man, there's a lot going on here.
She then followed Voyager, only she was forced to travel more slowly and lagged far behind them, growing more insane day by day.
That's Jetlaia. They do that with Jetlaia.
The twist, Voyager meandered through the Delta Quadrant like a drunken Jawa, helping other species and doing good. Meanwhile, following behind, Stoddy undid all the good Voyager accomplished by setting races against each other, changing people's memories of what Voyager really did.
Oh my god.
Like the baby-stealing evil doctor and a cannibalistic Vulcan security officer.
Whoa.
By the time the Federation returns in the far, far future, the whole quadrant is in turmoil and blames Starfleet. We just read someone's fan fiction out loud.
That was
on our
crazy.
podcast.
I think that I don't want to discourage any like imagination here. So like
That would have
I'm
made
gonna
Voyager a lot more interesting.
Yeah, I'm gonna pitch it because like that's very well thought out. And I really want to see Stoddy again. So
I am going to have to ditch it. Because it's the whole Jetlia thing, but it's also like giving an excuse why Voyager is seen as being evil by all the races.
yeah,
When it's their own actions that are causing them to believe that.
Yeah, the races of the Delta Quadrant don't really. I'm just gonna say it. They don't really matter.
No, they really don't.
So like,
And the whole ending thing, the Federation returns in the far future, that never happens. No one's ever going back. Delta Quadrant sucks. Who cares?
they just like put up a big fence around the Delta Quadrant, and they say, "Don't go there. Don't go in there. It's crazy." There's
do not want to go in there.
There's crazy shit going on in there. Don't do it. Woo! Was that a?
That was an Ace Ventura Pet Detective reference.
Holy shit!
My references are on point.
Oh man, they're coming back.
2. Lon Suter, played by Brad Dourif, is an engineer on Voyager. Suter is a sociopathic Betazoid mercenary. He creates a clone of Neelix and proceeds to torture it mercilessly for 6 months to let out his aggression. The clone is subconsciously programmed to obey Suter. The clone eventually escapes and comes across the original Neelix alone in the mess hall. A fight ensues, and the clone, being crazed, gets the upper hand. But Neelix is crafty. And
Shoot the real Neelix.
And it seems to be even until the doors open and Suter enters. Later that day, Neelix serves up a special stew for the crew. Tom says it tastes like chicken. Nobody thinks to ask where Neelix got the meat from. Neelix refuses to look at Suter when he comes up for seconds. Is it out of fear or programming?
That was a good ending. That ending was great. That was a great ending.
Steve, you need to be writing Twilight Zone episodes, is what you need to be writing.
To serve Neelix. It's a cookbook!
That was far more interesting than anything that ever happened to Neelix, so I'm going to pitch it.
Pitch it. Neelix, yep. Eat them. Eat them up. Fried green tomatoes, Neelix.
3. Molly O'Brien is a cook
Oh my
mule.
god.
Wait, I already did that. Okay, how about this? I hate that that's becoming a recurrent thing. I hate it.
She's like the cutest little kid of all time.
Yeah. Voyager becomes self-aware and views the crew as a virus. That kind of happened on TNG.
That's a TNG thing, yeah.
Yeah. It grows and begins to show that it views itself as a male and creates a holodeck simulation to live in. 7 of 9 and the Doctor offer an option. Janeway must enter the holodeck and get super slutty to keep the ship's adolescent AI occupied while they purge the system.
Daisy.
Janeway finds herself beginning to feel bad for the emerging AI, and question becomes, do they destroy a new life form to save the crew, or set down on an M-class world and live out their lives, allowing the ship to go on alone?
Well, if it was an adolescent, I would say send Kess in.
Yeah, I mean, she's like 3, so I guess that all works.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ditch it.
Yeah, the ship isn't good enough to be smart like that. It has bio packs in it though, the bio gel.
Get a cold.
Yeah, it gets sick, and they gotta make it not be sick anymore.
The great writing that happens in Voyager.
What if the ship gets a cold?
There, you see, not too crazy. Okay, I lied. Here's a few more.
No.
4, Kes does become pregnant from Neelix during the forced elogium in season 2, and spends the rest of the season looking like the Hunchback of Notre Dame with a hairy, whisker-filled sack on her back that moves on its own.
Oh my god, no, ditch it. I don't want to watch that.
Thousands of nerd boners are buried in the dirt. Nerds finally leave their parents' basement, stumbling into the daylight, driven by the horror they have seen, only to be hit by passing cars as they stumble blindly into the streets. A whole generation of nerds is lost.
Oh, that doesn't sound too bad.
I'm gonna pitch it.
Yeah, pitch that. Pitch it for the nerds dying.
Yeah, fucking cull the nerds.
Yeah, get some of them out.
Steve has like a weird like Saul mind that's just all about like torture and murder and like horrible shit.
I can't put my finger on it, but he should be like writing like horror movies with like, I don't know, like what's his name? The guy like Eli Roth or something like that.
Very Eli Roth.
Yeah.
Because number 5 is the creepy kid Borg twins accidentally kill Neelix and have to skin him and make a suit out of him and go through the motions of running the mess hall. The crew find out, but leave them to continue their ruse as the food has gotten immeasurably better. Captain Janeway secretly demands Neelix puppet shows for her amusement.
Well, if the food is better, pitch it, I guess.
I mean, I guess.
Man, Steve, I don't know, man.
I think Steve might be outlawed from Pitch It or Ditch It from now on.
we gotta like censor Steve's Pitch It or Ditch It.
Steve's Pitch It or Ditch It. Like, I love you, Steve, but your email's like a mile long, dude. He does say, I found Voyager a bit repetitive and bland. There were some good stories and characters to be sure, but overall it dragged on too long.
Yeah, well, they like that 7 seasons. That's like their number, right? Like, they always were, the shows were to be 7 seasons. I don't know why. It's better than 8.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine what any of these series would have been like if they went on for 8.
Yeah. So, I agree, though. Like,
yeah, he asked what we think about the writing, but we went real heavy into that.
Listen to the episode.
Yeah, so listen to the episode and you'll learn. He says, much love, guys. And much love
you,
right
Steve.
back at you, Steve.
We love you, Steve.
Writing in.
Don't skin us and wear us as suits.
Please, God. Our next email is from Harvey Rollins.
Henry Rollins' his brother.
Yeah, I think we did that joke last time.
That's because it's not a joke. It's real.
It's real. He's really Henry Rollins' brother.
Yeah, it's cool.
His cooler, more muscular brother.
Yeah.
Hello, Trek gentlemen.
Trek gentlemen.
I was just listening to the DS9 pilot episode, and you talked about God damn. It's really hard to like read stuff that doesn't have spaces in it really a lot and not have my accent come out like a giant fucking head.
I didn't even notice it.
Okay. And you talk about why Cisco wasn't a captain at first. I agree, the optics on that are bad, but I think it had less to do with audiences not handling a black captain and more of Star Trek not trusting the audience at all. I watched it all for the first time recently after watching TNG, and it appeared to me that there could be absolutely no sharing of titles between DS9 and TNG, between characters in the same position. TNG had a chief of engineering, DS9 has a chief operations officer. Data's the science officer on TNG, but they never call him that, so Dax is safe to have that title. There's no captain. There's no Captain Picard. There's a Commander Cisco. Kira needs to go by Major since Riker has Commander as his title.
Right.
Chief of Security is the same, but we'll call Odo Constable to make sure people don't get confused and think he's
Ooh, this is a really good point. I love this point. Like, this is great.
This is great. Like, Bashir and Crusher are the closest. Chief Medical Officer Crusher, but Julian largely goes by Chief of Medicine.
Ooh.
They even call Guinan a bartender and Quark a barkeep. It's not the bridge, it's ops. It's not the holodeck, it's holosuites. And the second TNG ends, in the very next episode, Cisco is promoted to captain since that title is available.
Wow.
Dude,
you should write a fucking paper.
Fuck, dude.
That's a great point. That's like so good.
Damn.
You don't even notice it really because like the setting is different, right? Like,
Yeah.
they just call them those things. It makes sense. Like, it makes sense that, like, the Hollow Suites are Hollow Suites because Quark owns them. Mm-hmm. It's not the Hollow Deck. There's not a deck, where the Hollow Suites are, or the Hollow, whatever you would call them, Holodecks. And, yeah, I don't know. That's really good,
You
though.
blew
That's
my
really
mind,
good.
Harvey.
I know. Fucking A+.
I understand the reasoning behind this, and I really like things like Major Kira being there and how different it feels from TNG by being a God damn. By being on a Cardassian station in the boonies, but always felt a little like, come on guys, cut us some slack. We can handle title sharing, a tiny flaw in otherwise the best Star Trek series.
I don't know if I would call it a flaw,
I wouldn't
really.
either. It's just a strange choice.
Yeah, I think it probably has more to do with setting building, like set building, right? Like that's kind of, they refer to things differently because they're a different crew in a different area.
Yeah.
Right?
It's a whole different thing being a crew of, like, a space station compared to the crew of a ship.
A ship, right? It's a lot less. Like, we get into that in the show, too. Like when Worf shows up, he's like, everything here is so crazy. And, like, Odo's like, yeah, but, like, it's not a ship. And, like, also, here's all these crazy things that happened on the Enterprise.
And he's like, well, that was normal. This is weird.
Yeah, this is weird,
You've got a bar. It's weird.
Yeah. I'm gonna go sleep on the ship. I'll be in my ship room.
Love the show. Keep it up. And if you ever wanted someone to explain the biggest flaw of DS9, and Harvey completely loses me with this one, by the way.
Oh, no.
Miles, I'm more important than you because of my family, O'Brien. I'm always happy to crucify him and tell you how great he is on TNG and how he's the absolute worst character on DS9.
What?
I can't even wrap my brain around this.
Yeah, that's a weird perspective to take on him. He literally fucks his family over all the time for his job.
Yeah. I mean,
he's like, I'm gonna go die. See you later.
He's like I had a conversation about this the other day about how fucking Harry Kim doesn't work. He's the everyman character, but he doesn't work.
Yeah.
Because he has no grounding as an everyman character.
Right.
And nothing interesting ever happens to him to juxtapose boring. Him being a normal guy.
Right.
O'Brien is super average, everyday normal guy. And he, like, rolls his sleeves up to go to work, He
literally rolls
working,
his sleeves
man.
up. Yeah.
And crazy shit happens to him. And his grounding is in his family life.
Right.
And that, like, back and forth, that juxtaposition is what makes him an interesting character. And honestly, like, he's top 3 characters on DS9 for me.
He's great. I love him. So,
like,
that's an interesting
circulates
perspective
for me. Like,
yeah.
Near the beginning of the series, for like the first 4 seasons or something, it's Odo is my favorite character. Mm-hmm. But after that, it might be O'Brien.
My favorite episode, well, not episode, but one of my favorite bits with O'Brien is when him and Bashir quote unquote die on that planet, and those aliens cover it up, and they try to murder them.
Oh,
and
yeah.
And then Keiko sees the footage of it, and he's drinking coffee, and she's like, "This isn't him. He never drinks coffee after 2 p.m. or whatever."
She knows he doesn't take his coffee that way.
Yeah, and then at the end of the episode,
his coffee that way.
At the end of the episode, he's like, "I always drink coffee all day," and she's like, "What?" And it just cuts. It's so good, dude. It's so good.
Oh man. Even though you have a terrible opinion at the end, Harvey Rollins, thank you for writing in. We really appreciate it. And
that was a great email. Thank you.
Knocked it out of the park with those title things.
That's great. That's really good.
That was amazing. Our next email is from Mickey Burnbacon, which is definitely not a real name.
That's a little bit more creative than...
Although, it is Mickey Burnbacon, really. I just tried to make it sound more like a regular name.
Burnbacon.
Mickey Burnbacon.
Don't burn it.
Who says, "Dear Trek Boys."
Trek Boys. And 2 different versions of it.
Have you read any Trek fan fiction, and is any of it good?
No and no.
No, and I have no idea because I'm not reading it.
Yeah.
Actually, we read some Trek fan fiction about 5 minutes ago. It was scary as fuck.
We read Steve's Halloween themed Trek fan fiction.
It was super spooky, and I didn't like it.
I don't read fan fiction of things that I like, really, because that's somebody else's fantasy, and I want to live in my own fantasies.
I make my own fan fiction up where I'm the captain.
Yeah. But in this world, the Starfleet never invented pants.
Oh, it's all scants, baby.
Oh man, scant time. Get your scants going, boys.
Fucking put your wife to bed. It's scant time.
It's dick sucking scant time. It's
It'd be real
access.
easy in a scant.
Yeah, you just hike up that scant a little more. Show your world to me.
Yo.
A little Dave Matthews Band quote for you.
Fucking Jesus, we're all 90s today in our fucking references. Would you guys consider doing an episode where you both write a Star Trek fan fiction in a way that is totally not the same, but also very similar to a podcast Josh might have been on before?
I'm not opposed to it, but
that sounds very labor intensive.
It's a lot of work, trust me. I've done it before. It's a lot of work.
Maybe that could be like a 1 or 2 time thing for like people who pay us money on Patreon.
That might, yeah, we could do that. We could definitely do that.
Reserve question. Other than perusing double G hangers, what in fine detail would you do in the holodeck? From your pal, Mickey Burnbacon.
That's a great question, because like Julian and O'Brien like to go in and play war games and stuff. They like to do the Alamo and the Battle of Britain. I don't know if I would do that.
I definitely
double G hangers.
There'd definitely be some double G hangers, but
yeah, it would yeah.
Like some of those double G hangers would definitely be in Conan the Barbarian simulations.
Right, do like a fantasy, yeah.
Yeah, I go on crazy fucking cool fantasy adventures where I'm the fantasy hero.
Yeah, what if like there's like an MMO holodeck game and like other people like share through subspace like this experience through holodecks?
Man. That I don't know if that could be a thing though, because like it could be a thing on Earth, not for like people in in Starfleet. Because, like, how much time would you have to put into that, and how super addictive would it be?
Oh my god, it would be crazy addictive. Like, people... But, I mean, we already see, like Barclay is super addicted anyway, so...
It can happen.
Holo addiction's, like, definitely a thing. I don't know, man. That sounds great, though.
Have it.
Yeah, I would just be like, guys, I can't come to work today because I'm a guy with a sword now.
It's like... I don't know if I would get addicted because I think about like, oh, I'd love to go on a space adventure, but oh wait, I can just go on a fucking space adventure in real life.
Yeah, that's the sort of the point of Star Trek, right? It's like we kind of get rid of our baser problems like that, where real life is more important than our fake life.
Yeah, I'd definitely do some like 1920s detective mysteries.
Yeah, that would be fun. I don't know. I don't really know. I never really thought about it, really. Like, maybe, like, Renaissance fair type shit, where I'd like to see, like, how people lived and, like...
You know what I would fucking love to do, and this is just me being me coming out, like, no normal person would love to do this. I would go back... Like, I would do, like, a Renaissance thing, like, a real Renaissance era, like, Italy... And just go and watch, like, fucking Leonardo da Vinci paint.
Yeah, you'd be like Janeway. She hangs out with da Vinci.
I just go see, like, da Vinci and fucking Giotto and, like, all these amazing artists paint and sculpt. And, oh, my God, that would be awesome. Ballin'.
That'd be great. Yeah, that, like, it's more... Like, I feel like the holodeck, like, naturally just turns into a learning tool anyway, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, like, I would be studying the shit out of what they're doing and trying to copy it.
Yeah.
And, I mean, you get these great history lessons and stuff too. Like I was just thinking, I'd love to go back to Kitty Hawk and watch the first flight with the Wright brothers.
Yeah, and you could like be like a mechanic and just be like there. That'd be fun. Yeah, dude.
There's like so many options.
There's so many things. Most of them would be
becomes educational at a certain point.
Yeah. Most of them would be history based for me because everyone wants to see the past. Like everybody wants to see it, right? So why not? Why not just walk into a holodeck and see it?
Go back and watch like a jousting tournament.
Yeah, but
the
like
Dark Ages.
Yeah.
Actually, be in one. Just go back and be in a jousting tournament.
Be a knight. Yeah, be like a knight.
God, that would be
knight shit.
Awesome.
Go on the Crusades. Oh wait, no, that sounds terrible.
I definitely don't want to do that one. Jesus.
Whoopsies.
Thank you, Mickey Burnbacon, who is surely named that for real.
Hey, Mickey, you're so fine. Burn my bacon. I want bacon. Hey, bacon.
I waited for the hey bacon.
Hey bacon.
Our next email is from Keith the Robo-Duke, friend of the show.
Oh, Robo-Duke.
Who says, "Hey Trek boys.
Trek boys.
Trek boys.
Trek boys.
It's your friend from Sidecast, Keith the Robo-Duke.
I know.
Everybody go check out the Sidecasts.
Yeah.
It's a good program.
We've been on it a few times.
Yes.
Each. And together.
Yeah, we've been on it separately and together.
Yes.
As you probably already know, I'm a casual fan of Star Trek. Boo.
Filthy casuals.
I watched TOS during marathons with my dad. He originally watched it in reruns while in college. No doubt he was also smoking nugs that would be considered dirt weed by today's standards.
Nugs.
Anyway, I used to watch Next Gen in reruns on Sunday nights before bed, before falling asleep. On my old clicker dial CRTV, TNG was the finale to my weekends. As
I also had one of those.
And teenagers. I'd enjoy a dive into the optimistic future before being drowned in the sorrow of school for another week.
Yeah, Sunday night is terrible, by the way. It still is terrible.
Sunday scaries.
The Sunday scaries. I never heard that, but that's perfect.
Like the dude I work with brought that word, that phrase to my attention, but it perfectly encapsulates the feeling.
When it's like fall and the sun goes down at like 5:30 or 6 and it's Sunday and you're like, well, I guess I'm done having a day off today.
I guess my enjoyment of life is over again for another 5 days.
Oh my god.
So my question, isn't Data the best ever?
Simple question, simple answer, yes.
Yes, sir.
I love Data. Everyone loves Data.
I love Data so much that I named my cat Data.
I love Data so much I named my cat Spot.
Well, you love Spot then. I love Data.
Oh, I see.
Gotcha. Love and nugs, Keith the Robo-Duke.
Keep on snugging nugs.
Keep on nugging. Thanks, Keith. I appreciate the email.
That was great.
I love the little slice of your history with Star Trek.
Yeah,
so
I like to hear
that.
Yeah, I like to hear about that too.
Our next email is from Andrew.
Okay, Dice Clay?
It is him.
Oh, wow.
It is a horrible, filthy limerick, so strap yourself in. It's not. Hey, guys, I wanted to know some deep lore from the M-Class canon.
Okay.
How did you guys meet? I don't think you've ever really touched on it in much detail. Sincerely, Andrew.
I don't think I know. I just woke up here one day.
It's really... I can't trace it back to a single moment, really.
Yeah.
Like, we just tweeted at each other a lot and, like, hung out and plugged DJ before that.
Yeah, we listened to music and, like, shit like that. And then we would talk about Star Trek over Twitter, but in, like, DM form.
For, like, ever. For, like, a fucking, like, year.
And, like, for, like, hours at a time, we would talk about
Sometimes,
it.
like, 4 or 5 fucking hours. We were just
it's
DMing
crazy.
back and forth.
I didn't want to say that because I don't want them to know how pathetic we are.
So. Just fucking talking about Star Trek and, like, lamenting that the world will never be Star Trek.
Yeah, yeah.
And one day I was just like, I do another podcast called it's called Rider Club Monthly now, but at the time it was Rider Club Radio when I wasn't lazy as fuck. And the whole time I was just thinking, man, I would love to do another podcast.
Yeah.
And I want to do Star Trek so badly. I just want to do a Star Trek podcast.
Yeah.
And I just mentioned it in a tweet, and Josh just responded with, I'll do it.
Yeah, man.
And,
I love Star Trek.
And we did it. And I mean, we would just talk over Skype about Star Trek fucking endlessly anyway, so...
Yeah, right? It was just like, why not just record the conversation?
Yeah. And here we are now, and we have tens of viewers like you.
Oh my god,
Love
it's so many. It's almost like 20.
We're getting there. Hopefully, if we grind it out by Christmas, we'll hit 20.
Hopefully. We're playing like hell.
Asking Santa for that 2-0. But yeah, it's not really a super interesting story. It's not like we were just glory holing one day and suddenly found one another.
That's actually the real story. And I was like, Jeff? From Twitter? And then I heard like a muffle through the glory hole and he was like, yeah. I was like, damn, if you do podcasts as well as you suck a dick, let's do this thing.
Damn, I know that beard. Ow, shit. So prickly.
So prickly. Oh, man.
Thanks for writing in, Andrew. I appreciate it.
Good email.
Our next email is from Luke Ewart.
Okay. I think he's a Continue fan, if I remember.
Who starts it out with Shrek Boys.
Shrek Boys.
Which is insulting, frankly.
That's that movie. That's the movie with the ogre.
He's green and he's like onions.
But then stuff from like Now Times happens.
Yeah. Did they dance to Smash Mouth?
And then, hey now, you're a rock star. Get your Shrek on.
Get fucked. Hey girl, winky face.
Hi.
Love the podcast, fellas.
Thank you.
Came for the Josh, stayed for the dick jokes. Now let's have some fun.
We just made like 6, so.
Yeah, we sure did. One, if you were to make a bridge crew of all the Star Trek captains, who would you assign to where?
Oh my god.
That's a deep question.
Oh my god. Janeway as science officer, obviously.
This is also like a really subtle, like, who's your favorite captain question, because whoever's your favorite is going to end up being the captain.
Yeah, or maybe, yeah, you could go captaining style, though, too, right?
I mean...
But I don't know how you don't pick either Kirk or Picard, like...
No. I would say...
Those are the two.
I would say Picard would be captain.
Yeah, I would say that,
Janeway
too.
would be science officer.
Yeah.
Archer would be security.
Security, yeah.
Kirk would be pilot.
Sure.
And Cisco would be like ops.
Yeah, but not... He could also be security, too, I feel like.
That's true.
But, yeah, I'll agree with that. That's good.
That's the official M-Class podcast captain crew.
There you go. Draw it. Make fan art of it.
Draw your fucking fan art.
And put us in there, too. We're cool looking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big dicks.
Yeah, we got big muscles, too.
Draw us exactly like we don't look in real life.
Draw us exactly like we look in real life. Oh, wait. Oh.
Question 2. How do you think a starship ran by all datas would do?
Probably really poorly.
And on a similar note, how about all hollow doctors? Who would win in a dogfight?
I think the datas would fare better.
Yeah. I think the hollow doctors wouldn't be able to touch any of the controls, which would be poor.
Only one of them could be on the bridge because there's only one emitter.
They can all press controls and shit. They do it all the time, so that's out.
Yeah, they'd have to do it in the holodeck or whatever.
I don't know. I couldn't see him manning a ship, all the fucking people, like, stuff, but I could see Data doing it.
Yeah, the problem with all Datas is that, like, he sometimes runs into, like, human problems in the show where he doesn't understand, and that would be every single day, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't
True.
know. You'd have like 1,000 datas just like running into the similar problems all the time. Be like system failure.
Oh my god, like total reboot.
Yeah,
Of
they'd
your
have to
whole
just.
ship.
It's crazy. But the Doctor stinks. Like, he's stupid. He's just a ding dong, man.
I would say the Datas would win in a dogfight.
Yeah, Doctor would be like, I don't know what to do. I'm the Doctor. I don't know.
Please turn
Maybe
off
I
my
should sing some
emitter.
opera.
3. Klingon CrossFit class, all starting with a K, which I would change at least one of
Yeah,
those.
I wouldn't do that.
I would change at least one of those.
Yeah.
How badass would that be? You'd be punching rocks and shit, yelling at the top of your lungs between sets. DDP yoga? Nice.
Makbara. Yeah. I mean, yeah, man. That would be great.
Just everybody on the Enterprise wouldn't shut the fuck up about their Klingon CrossFit class.
Yeah, they would be like, I'm doing Klingon CrossFit. Like, instead of like big truck tires, we push like targs around.
And they push back, so I get even better fucking attention to my glutes.
My core is like super strong because they have tusks. And you're like, what?
How does that relate? What?
Shut up about this. Let's talk about other stuff. What are you reading?
I'm reading the manual for Klingon CrossFit. Because I want
Alright,
to get super strong in my fucking core.
This brunch is over. I'm leaving.
I'm taking my fucking French toast and leaving.
I'm going to this table over here.
Final note. Final note, don't let Josh cut you on all those edges. He's a good boy. One of my fondest MagFest memories was playing Josh in Eternal Champions, getting my ass kicked, getting a hug, and receiving a signed Shovel Knight game as a participation trophy. Nice.
Oh wow! I beat you at Eternal Champions. I remember that.
Who did you play as?
I don't remember, but I kicked
Play
his
as-
ass.
Did you play as a superhero with sunglasses? Because that guy's the fucking coolest.
I don't think so. I don't remember who it was, honestly. I was also
played as-
very drunk, so
Like when my friends play, I either play as him or the like detective guy that has like
Yeah.
robo arms and shit.
it might have been that guy. It might have been
He
him.
has like a hook shot thing for his
yeah,
weapon.
yeah. That's a great game.
That is a great game. It's actually a terrible fighting game, but it's really
I know,
fun.
but it's so silly.
Thanks for writing in, Luke.
That was a great
I'm glad
email.
you love Josh because I think he's a good dude.
I think so too. Hey, Josh! Yeah,
Yay! Woo!
woohoo! Ship full of Joshes! Yay!
Our next question is from Sean.
Who's that?
Which Sean?
So many of them.
Hey, boys of Trek. Big fan of Tuvok here. Actually, big fan of most of Voyager's characters. I realize most Trek boys feel that Voyager is the beginning of the downward Trek spiral. I watched it every night in syndication in college and really enjoyed it, although upon revisiting, I can see why most fans don't care for it.
Yeah. It's a fun adventure the first time through, I would say. More so than the second.
Shit, but, for one, they tell us the ship can safely go warp 9.925, which is
9.975.
Oh my god. Which is the
It's very
equivalent
fast.
of bringing a gun to an improv session. Where can we go from there?
Well, that's a really good analogy.
That fucking ends the session for sure.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
For two, they love using those rifle phasers, which seems narratively unnecessary.
Yeah, they have those weird, I don't know what their number is, but yeah, they like those. They're like pulse phasers.
Yeah.
They're not like the beam.
However, if you were to play Pitch It or Ditch It with me and said a series about a lost ship needing to get back home, I will always say Pitch It every time.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great concept.
It works better as a mini-series, I think. I mean, then it's Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah, just watch Battlestar Galactica.
Anyway, the show has plenty of faults, more than the previous shows, perhaps, but I still like the concept and most of the cast. So this is all a preamble for my own submission to Sean Dupree Presents Pitch It or Ditch It.
Oh, yes.
I am thrilled that others have given their own offerings to Pitch It or Ditch It, but I feel the need to clarify you should only present a short idea and not a full plot summary. You know who you are. Calling them out.
Wow.
Damn. Sean ain't taking fucking prisoners this time.
Wow.
1.
It's a log line. It's called a log line.
1. We go for broke and do an episode where Voyager's artificial gravity breaks. Ron Howard guest directs in a Grammy bait episode of Voyager.
Oh, wow. Well, they do that in Enterprise, and they don't need the vomit comet. Which is the plane that they shot the Apollo 13 in.
Yeah. I like Ron Howard, alright. I mean, I'll pitch it.
Pitch it.
2.
Practical effects are fun. Let's do it.
2. Naomi Wildman. Do you remember who that is?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's got the horns.
Yeah. Naomi Wildman learns a valuable lesson about honesty when she witnesses an emissary assassination in a very special episode of Star Trek Voyager. Damn.
What is it with these children seeing terrible things?
Children doing terrible things and seeing terrible things.
Yeah. What?
I'm gonna ditch it.
No, Naomi Wildman is like... She's just like Molly, but with more lines.
Yeah, pretty much. She's also played by, like, my wife loved that fucking Reba McEntire show.
Oh, yeah, she's in that show.
She's the daughter, the younger daughter from that show.
Yeah, Reba. I know Reba.
Fucking Reba.
Fuck you, Reba.
3. Naomi Wildman plays a Wizard of Oz recreation in the holodeck with Tuvok as the lion, 7 of 9 as the Tinswoman, and Neelix as the lion? I think he meant Tuvok as the Scarecrow.
Tuvok's the Scarecrow. Okay. That's really clever. I would pitch the shit out of that. Yeah. That's really great.
I would love that.
Because Neelix is a coward. 7 is a robot, right? A cyborg. So she's like a Tin Man. Yeah, that's awesome.
4. Kes and Neelix become crazy voyeurs, and eagle-eyed viewers are encouraged to find the fornicating couple in the background of every scene in a hot and steamy Valentine's Day episode of Star Trek Voyager. I'd never want to see Neelix's dick in my entire life.
Yeah, I would imagine his dick looks a lot like his face.
Yeah, I imagine it is his face. It's like when the alien opens its mouth and the little alien head comes out.
Yeah.
But it's his dick.
Yeah. I think that's what it is.
Also, that's not being a voyeur, that's being an exhibitionist.
Exhibitionism, yes.
Do you not
voyeur is
know
when you like to look at people having sex, or
do you not
just
know
look
your
at them.
super sexy fetishes that I definitely don't have, Sean? Jesus.
Not at all. Not even a little bit.
Thanks for taking my question. And a bonus question: how did Neelix learn how to cook without access to water? That's crazy impressive.
That's a really good point.
How did Neelix not have access to water when he grew up on 2 separate planets that had water?
Hey, here's a great idea. Go find a comet. They're made of water. And they're huge, and there's a shitload of water on them. And they're everywhere.
Nobody thought of that shit, I guess.
The Earth, the solar system, there is a gigantic light-year-wide cloud of comets. There's a fucking trillion, quadrillion tons of water out there.
Yep. No, you can't use any of that.
No, there's dirt in it. Can't use it. Dirty water.
Too dirty.
Rocks are in it. Some rocks in my water.
This is going to be a long-ass episode. Our next email is from Phil Montgomery, a.k.a. Philosophy, from the Continue stream.
Hi!
Trek boys!
Trek boys!
Trek boys! I want to start by saying that I am a big fan of the two of you and appreciate all your creativity and insight. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. That's great.
Star Trek was always something in the background of my life, and beyond a few stray episodes of TNG and the Kelvin fanfic trilogy, I just never pulled the trigger and gave Trek a chance.
I like you already.
Welcome aboard!
You can be my wingman anytime.
After listening to you guys speak about all the things you like and dislike, I finally decided to get deeper into the universe by watching TOS. I was blown away by just how great both original pilot episodes were, and I'm happy to say I've enjoyed every episode I've watched so far, and look forward to seeing how the shows and characters evolve over time.
That's awesome.
That is so heartwarming.
Yeah, that's great. I'm glad that you're watching Star Trek. It makes people better. I'm serious, I swear to God.
It's absolutely mind-blowing to me when somebody's an asshole and loves Star Trek. I'm like, did you not pay attention to what you were watching?
Were you not, like, listening to the things? Like, go watch it again.
And, like, all those people who are, like, saying that they can't have a Star Trek series that's, like, all about diversity because it's shit and, like, forced diversity and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, did you not watch the program that you're talking about?
Yeah. Like,
it's been diverse forever.
Yeah. Fucking, yeah.
In the interest of... Oh, no. Yeah, in the interest of actually asking a question, even with my limited frame of reference so far, I was wondering how you guys felt about the episode, I believe it was called The Naked Time, where Spock comes under the influence of that strange liquid that is warping/augmenting everyone's personalities, even bringing out the hidden swashbuckler in Sulu.
Oh,
I
yeah.
found myself really fascinated by the soliloquy time Spock has to deal with what seems to be a torrent of feelings coming to the surface all at once. That has, like, one of my favorite Spock lines that, like, breaks my heart. And, like...
What is it?
It's when Spock says, even when I think of you as a friend, I feel shame.
Oh, man, yeah. That's like, great.
Oh, my God.
Because it's not Vulcan.
Yeah. That is such a powerful line.
Yeah, I've seen that episode a long time ago. It's one of the ones that they like to play a lot because it's a good one, right? Mm-hmm. And it's the one that everyone now thinks about Sulu because he's the guy with the sword.
So he's got the sword in a movie now.
He got a movie sword to go fight a Romulan.
He got a fucking, like, segmented katana.
It's a lightsaber, but it's not.
Fucking love lightsabers!
I wish I could do Star Wars.
I can.
No, I'm gonna do the last one because I'm gonna go J.J. Abrams.
That's what he sounds like. That's a perfect impression.
That's how he talks. What do we? It's the question. What do we think about it? It's a good episode.
It's like how you felt about the episode.
Oh, how I felt about it. I don't remember it.
I feel like a lot of the episode is like over the top. Like TOS gets over the top a lot, which I'm fine with. I love this. Like, there's a great background story for why Sulu is like a swashbuckler. In the original draft of the script that they were putting together, he was gonna think he was a samurai.
Right, but they were like,
and because he was Japanese, and George Takei lied and said he knew how to fence. Because he didn't want to be a stereotype.
Yeah, he didn't want to be a stereotype. Yeah.
So he faked knowing how to fence for real.
Yeah, maybe we shouldn't write the guy who literally was in an internment camp in World War II as a samurai. Maybe we shouldn't do that.
Maybe we shouldn't force fucking stereotypes on people that they don't want to do.
Yeah.
So he lied about being a swashbuckler himself. And put forth the idea that Sulu would think that he was like one of the Three Musketeers.
Yeah.
So it was all his idea, which is great.
That's awesome.
That's a fun fact of the week for you.
Oh my.
Oh my. In my head, it appears that whatever the fluid is sort of pushing the Vulcan side of Spock to the back, and for what may be the first time, maybe in his life, or just a long time, Spock's human side is getting to, or being forced to, deal with things that his Vulcan logic would normally be able to rationalize away and deal with more efficiently. He becomes a weeping mess, and I couldn't help but find that very interesting. How do you guys feel, and what do you think about when you saw Spock going through that?
Well, Spock, I like I always feel like Spock is like pretty accepting of himself. Like later in the movies, he's very comfortable with both sides of himself, right? Like,
Yeah.
maybe because he dies and he comes back. Maybe like
Gives
it's
him
like
perspective.
yeah, I don't know, but like. I mean, there had to have been points when he was younger where like it was horrible for him, right?
Oh yeah.
And we kind of have a show like that now. It's not Spock, but Discovery is kind of about that now, right?
Sorta,
like
yeah.
the some of the episodes you're seeing like this it's the polar opposite though. It's a human who grew up Vulcan, so I don't know.
It's like seeing Spock like that. The first thing that immediately comes to mind when I'm thinking about it is that it really cemented Leonard Nimoy as like an amazing actor.
Oh, and to act like a Vulcan is like he invented it. Like he's the one who invented it.
Absolutely, and like seeing him, you see so often that he doesn't display emotions, and that takes a special kind of acting skill to still get across the charisma to the audience without displaying emotions, and to still be lovable and enjoyable as a character.
Yeah.
But seeing him cut loose, there are episodes where he goes a little bit too far. The one that pops into my head is the one with the Horta, where he touches it and he goes, pain!
Yeah, he gets really...
But in this episode, it was just the correct amount of measured response. That it was... I love that episode for that Spock scene. The rest of it's fun, or it gets, like, a little silly at times, but that part, especially that line, I fucking love that line.
That's awesome.
What do you think, Josh?
What I don't know. Like I think Spock is maybe one of like the most fascinating characters on television ever.
Oh yeah.
So
absolutely.
But with TOS, like a lot of times, like you said, like there's a lot of like finding itself, and we talk about this a lot on the show. Star Trek is a 50-year work in progress, and in the beginning it wasn't great. and there's like the episodes where he's like in the rec room and he's like dancing and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, so there's a lot of like not great Spock, but I tend to think of Spock from the movies. Like,
see, I don't know. Like, as much as I love the Spock from the movies, I feel like there's stuff from the television series that delves a little deeper into his time when he was younger, and he wasn't so sure of his human and Vulcan side.
Right.
'Cause that comes up a lot. Sometimes very ham-handedly, but other times, like, really well.
It definitely adds to his character, and I love that. Like, he wasn't always going to be the wise ambassador Spock, right?
No.
Like, he had to go through some shit, and like being half Vulcan and half human on Vulcan is probably a fucking nightmare, to be honest with you, because like Vulcans are cocksuckers. Like,
I mean, from a human point of view, abso-fucking-lutely.
Yeah,
like, it would be impossible to live with those people as like growing up.
Right.
When you have no control over your emotions and they're all control.
It's crazy.
Jeez.
Yeah.
There's that fucking moment. God damn. There's that moment in the J.J. Abrams movie where it shows like little Spock and like two Vulcans come up and like bully him, but they're like robots bullying him.
And it's like like what? Like, it doesn't work. They're Vulcan children. Like, they wouldn't do that. It's not Earth. They would bully him, like, intellectually, maybe. I don't know. They would... I don't know. I fucking hate this.
Like, their level... Like, bullying for Vulcans would just be pointing out your logical fallacies.
Right. That's it. They would be like, or how incorrect you were, or something.
It
like,
wouldn't be like, he got that from his whore of a mother.
Right. They wouldn't say that.
Thanks so much for all you guys do. It might just seem like you guys are voicing opinions about a sci-fi series, but your insights really do help me. and I'm sure other fans of the podcast, to think more critically about characters, stories, film, art, etc. And in
Oh my
learning more
God.
about what makes art work and what we like about the art, it helps us to come to appreciate things more deeply and to find more we like in other things.
That's
which I like
great.
to think is the point of art in the first place, to make life better.
That's a really great end of your email. That's great.
Yeah, that
Thank
might
you.
be like the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me.
Yeah. People are generally never nice to me, so that's awesome. That's not true.
You guys are beyond awesome. Sincerely, Phil Montgomery.
Thank you, Phil. What a great
Oh,
email.
Damn. I can't believe us talking about nerd shit is having this much of a profound effect on somebody.
Well, I was talking to, like, Paul and Nick about Discovery, and I was saying how, like, it's hard to talk to me about Star Trek because I'm like a food critic with Star Trek.
Yeah.
I've had so much of it that, like, you're going to need to really, like, try. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, exactly. Like, I can't just have surface level conversations about Star Trek.
and that's how I feel about you and me. Like, definitely. Like, I brought that up with Paul. I was like, we're not regular Star Trek people. Like, we're like super fucking fans of Star Trek.
Yeah.
Like, it's tough to like just shit out some Star Trek and be like, well, why don't you like it? Well, it's because it's got to be fucking the real thing, man. Like, there's no facsimile Star Trek here, you know?
And I mean, there's that whole attitude that, like, we're just being nitpicky assholes about it. And whether that's true or not, there has to be something in Star Trek that makes it what it is, or else it's just any other sci-fi series.
Yeah. There's a reason it's called the thing it's called.
Or there should be.
Well, I think deep down everyone realizes that.
Yeah.
I think greed and just greed really has ruined lots of things that were once amazing.
There's
like,
just a whole society of fans of things that refuse to criticize it in any way,
Right.
shape, or form.
we talk about this all the time.
Yeah, it blows my mind. Like, I can't like something and not accept that it has flaws.
Right.
And
Like,
if
we
I
love
take
Star Trek,
if I
but,
take
like-
the piss out of Star Trek, it's because
Yeah.
I love it. It's not because I
Right.
think it's shit.
I'm not like making it less valuable or less like worthy or whatever it is.
There's
like
that Japanese art, right, where like you break the teacup and then you seal it
Yeah.
back together with gold, and it's more beautiful for having been broken.
oh, what is that called? It's called like oh shit,
I wish I remembered, but
wabi
like,
sabi.
it's like that's so true of everything. Nothing is
Yeah.
perfect, and it's better for not being perfect.
Right.
If we didn't think about it this way, we make all these jokes about Star Trek. If all this bad Star Trek shit didn't exist, how could we make those jokes and have that fun and enjoy Star Trek on that level?
Right. Right. If it was, we're not doing a podcast about like Citizen Kane where we're like, it's still amazing. Like,
Yeah, it's still perfect, by the way.
it's a great fucking movie, even like 80 years later. Like, yeah, okay, sure, right? Like, I don't know. There is value in the flawedness to it, and when we
Yeah.
make fun of it, it's not us like shitting on it all the time, unless it deserves to be, which I know that there's that element too, and I know the question then is like, well, why who named you the kings of Star Trek?
did.
And nobody. Oh, Jeff did.
I'm the czar of Star Trek, so I named us both the kings of Star Trek.
I think that's valid though. Fuck it, we are awesome. We're great. Fuck it.
It's like, I think people need to understand that we're not giving summary judgment
Right.
on Star Trek. We're not saying that this is 100% unequivocally the fucking objective truth of Star Trek. It's completely
Yeah.
subjective to us.
Right.
If you disagree, that's fine. I mean, your opinion is no less valid than mine, unless
Right.
it's fucking stupid. Then it's
Yeah.
worthless.
Yeah.
But it's just, understand that you having a different opinion than us doesn't make us assholes.
Right.
It
And
makes
doesn't make you
an
asshole.
asshole.
damn it. I fucking love it. Holy shit. Oh my
No,
god.
we're all Star Trek fans, and a lot of us enjoy Star Trek in different ways. But
Yeah.
I forget what I was gonna say. So thank you for writing.
Thank you. Yeah, that's a great email. Thank you. We could do a whole podcast about the thing we just talked about.
Yeah, we
honestly.
really could. Our next email is from Chris, who says, "Oof, I don't love Voyager. It has its moment, but the pilot episode isn't among them."
Agreed. If you listen to the episode, we say pretty much exactly that.
Yep.
Yep.
I feel like a book club I love asked me to read their fan fiction.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I love the idea of reviewing episodes by themes. There's elements in early Voyager that never really get used to their full potential. Conflict between Maquis and Starfleet crews, limited number of torpedoes, and other survivalist elements.
Right.
Never really wrestling with the value of the Prime Directive in their unique circumstances.
Yeah.
They
do sometimes, but not really.
Not really. I know you guys have critiqued the Maquis as a concept, but I never really had that much of a problem with them. I suppose the heart of your objection lies with the idea that the Federation citizens would decide to remain in the Cardassian territory colonies and then use terrorism to defend them, risking the peace for petty, selfish reasons.
Yeah, that's pretty much your whole thing. Yeah.
I always kind of agreed with what Sisko said on the matter, that it's easy to be saints in paradise. They live in paradise!
Yeah.
They were still part of the Federation!
Right. Just go somewhere else. Just go elsewhere. Go back to Earth.
Yeah.
Like, fuck it, right? Like,
go to a different colony planet. They can beam everything you own there, including your crops, out of the ground and into the other grounds.
One of the things that I think we could do and like do like a whole video essay on is like how important impermanence is in Star Trek.
Yeah.
Like how everyone, whether they're raised that way or they have special counseling or something, everyone seems to realize that like there's a now and it'll end. Except the Maquis, who are like, no!
I want to keep my dirt ball.
I want to live here. Like, yeah. I don't know.
Maybe it has to do with the kind of person who settled those colonies, that they were trying to avoid the Federation in the first place.
Maybe.
Maybe it has more to do with resenting the idea of giving into the Cardassians. There's a bunch of characters in TNG and DS9 that can't really get over the brutality of the war. Ultimately, Mott the Barber was right. They never should have built those colonies so close to the Cardassian border.
What a great reference. Holy shit.
Fucking Mott is a scholar. Far ahead of his time.
Commander Riker agrees with me, of course, or whatever he says.
I heard that you're agreeing with Mott against my better judgment.
You're talking about, like, interstellar warfare with Mott, or whatever he says. Like, fucking Jesus.
I mean, there's always that argument for the Maquis that, like, I feel like Americans love the Maquis. Like, it's hard for an American.
Well, we like rebels.
Yeah,
like, that's
it's really hard for an American not to root for a rebellious underdog.
Right.
But it's kind of a harsh example, but that's how the Taliban got started.
Right.
From the Mujahideen.
Yeah, what's the difference, right? Like, where's the line?
Yeah, the line is very difficult to find. Especially when the Maquis are doing genuine terroristic acts and murdering Cardassians. And also, like, causing genuine damage to the Federation.
Right. They attack... What turns it is they attack a starship.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, this has to stop, because that's fucking crazy. Like, this is a city of people, and these are, like, our most valuable resources, right? Like, starships are, like, fucking gold.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
They
Gold
need
press
them.
platinum, baby.
Yeah. So, I ultimately, you could argue that the Maquis are proven right? Because the Cardassians go crazy, and
Well, they
side
do
with the
go
Dominion.
crazy because of the Dominion giving them that extra edge or whatever. But it's not like the Federation were ever like, yeah, now our problems with the Cardassians are all over.
Right. It was right.
It was always a stopgap in order to keep war at bay until
And
a
it's
better
also
solution.
for their safety
Yeah,
too. Like
exactly.
those people weren't gonna survive. Like that's not they were gonna die. It's a suicide pact. Like they're just like gonna die there.
Yeah. Again, a big problem I have with the whole like we want to keep our land thing is that they were there for 16 years.
Yeah, it would be different if they were, again, like we said in the episode, if they were an indigenous species and the Federation tried to move them, then that would be Native Americans.
Like multiple generations or
right,
something.
Exactly.
But literally, like, the first children were being born there.
Right.
It's too much.
Yeah.
Like, they die and murder for a place they've lived in for 16 years, that they can get anything they could ever want from the Federation anywhere else, as long as they move from that location in order to keep the galaxy from descending into war.
Yeah, it's just a place, right? That's what any other like Star or Federation citizen would probably come to that conclusion. Like it's just a place, and I can go somewhere else and just be who I am there.
Especially just a place because it's 16 years. I mean, if it was your home planet, that's different.
It's not Earth, right? Like that's different.
Also, pitch it or ditch it.
Oh shit.
Voyager encounters a crazy space rift in the Delta Quadrant and gets pulled into a mirror universe where it meets its bizarro twin Voyager. Mirror universe Janeway becomes a fucking space pirate, and the crew all went a bit Mad Max. Villana wears a belt of alien skulls. Tuvok's lost an ear and always sneers. The Doctor always has a bloody apron, and Kim definitely wears a ball gag. The two Voyagers get into some shenanigans, and Pirate Janeway is a total badass and saves the day by enslaving some primitive culture and killing their god.
What?
Unfortunately, in the chaos, Prime Universe Kim gets killed, and the crew replace him with Mirror Universe Bitch Kim. Everyone lives happily. That already happened.
That's the universe. Yeah, that's the thing.
That actually happens in the show.
Yeah. You don't see it, but it happens.
Well, you do see it, is the thing. Like, fucking, as spoilers for a show I don't give a fuck about, so you're gonna hear it.
Yeah.
The regular Harry Kim gets killed, and the alternate universe Harry Kim takes his place, and no one ever fucking comments on it. It doesn't matter to that level that Harry Kim is replaced.
Yeah, what's the alternate universe? It's not the mirror universe though.
No, it's like a alternate timeline is what it is.
Yeah.
So it's like a way more harsh version of when O'Brien replaced himself from a half hour in the past.
Right. Oh my god, this show.
Sorry for the long email. Have a good one, Chris. Your email is
Great.
about half the length of some of the ones we've read so far. Thank you for your email, though, Chris. I appreciate your thoughts on the Maquis. Even though I don't agree with the stance you probably have on them, I understand where you're coming from.
I don't hate the Maquis as much as Jeff does.
I'll say that. A hate boner.
I understand Jeff completely. Like I agree. They don't play an important enough role for me. Like I don't really care about them.
I feel like it's because so many people I've known have like championed them at me that I've developed a chip on my shoulder because of them.
Like I'm kind of like Starfleet Command, where I'm just like they'll just go away. Like just let them.
Until they attack my ship.
Right, they'll go away and then whatever. Like fuck it.
Our next email is from Eric Bogenschutz.
Okay.
Who says, "My dearest Jeffrey and Joshua."
Oh my god.
Apologies for the long subject line, which says, "Surprise, another scientist likes your podcast and the most influential science fiction franchise of all time."
Oh, fucking scientists. I love them.
Similar to another person that wrote in, I love listening to the podcast while working in the lab.
Oh my god, I love it.
It has caused me to start laughing like an idiot while dissecting mice multiple times, and maybe one of the reasons my PhD work will take longer than it should.
You're welcome.
But it'll be worth it if I have your fine-ass voices keeping me company.
Damn.
Man, I can't believe scientists listen to us. What the fuck?
I don't know, man. I don't get it.
Anyway, I wanted to write in after finishing Next Gen on Netflix. First, fuck Wesley. Second, I love seeing how the show incorporated current, at the time of the show, science.
Yeah.
Specifically in genetics and molecular biology.
DNA.
Which is his
DNA
field.
is you can see it. You can see the the writing. They're like, well, DNA, we like know about it now.
Yeah, we gotta put that in shit.
Put it in the show.
For example, the episode Genesis, in which changes in crew members' non-coding DNA leads them to devolve, which is insane.
Oh my god.
But highlights one of the most exciting findings in the field in the 80s.
Yeah.
That episode, Barkley turns into a spider.
Yeah, and then Troy's like a frog lady.
Yeah, it has pretty good special effects for the time.
Yeah,
like
and
Barkley's
Worf is
genuinely kind of unsettling looking.
Yeah.
Worf turns into a scorpion monster.
It starts with him, right? Doesn't he have in the name it like Barkley syndrome or whatever?
Yeah. Going forward into DS9 and Voyager, I hope there are at least a few science-focused episodes like this. It's a great way to keep people interested in talking about science, even if it is them asking, is that really possible? Or where the hell did the writers get this idea?
Yeah.
I can definitely say Star Trek had an influence on my life and career, and love learning how it was positively impacted others.
Awesome. That's a great email.
That is awesome.
Thanks for being a scientist. We need them more than ever.
Yes, we do.
I wish I was smart enough to be one.
No, I'm definitely fucking not.
I can only make pee jokes.
I'm an artist. I'm an artiste. I have a feeling Discovery will have more explosions and shooting than science, though I haven't watched it yet. One can only hope.
And we could talk about that at a later date.
Yes. Keep up the great work. Science Junior Officer Eric Bogenschutz of the USS Bozeman.
Nice. The Bozeman.
The fucking Bozeman.
So many Bosemans.
Dude, I'm stationed on the Ticonderoga myself.
Oh, the Ticonderoga. Oh no. Where do you think I'm at? I don't know.
You're on the Ticonderoga with me.
Oh, okay, cool.
P.S. Please make Go Climb a Rock shirts so I can give you money and have a shirt to wear while I climb rocks.
Yes! Dude,
I really do need to make the Go Climb
It's so simple, dude. It's so
text. Go Climb a Rock.
We just need to find the font, which it looks like a century font or something. I don't know.
I have to look into it, but... Our next email is from Maddie Peeps. Who says, Trek boys.
Trek boys.
It gets deeper every time.
It's been Trek boys.
Trek boys.
Whoa. Happy Halloween.
Hey guys, Matt here. I say that like you knew I existed before this second.
Maybe we did.
I did.
I look at you at night. Oh shit, he's back!
Oh god,
it's
Satan's here! Everybody
it's Becklar!
One of my favorite things about the show is the dynamic between the two of you. Yeah. Sexually. There's a lot of crossover in your sense of humor and even joke delivery, and I was wondering how much you think you've influenced each other's sense of humor over however long you've known each other.
I'm gonna say not at all because we are the same person.
Yeah, we started out the same guy. It just happened to line up accidentally.
Yeah, I'm like the Mirror Universe version of Jeff.
Yeah, he's definitely Mirror Jeff.
Yeah.
I'm the good twin.
Yeah, I'm the little evil inside.
Have you felt your sensibility shift over your friendship? Who or what would you cite as influential comedically and in your life otherwise?
Oh my god, that's like so hard to answer
that's really tough.
I don't know. A lot of like when I was growing up, I liked a lot of comedians. I like comedy.
I watch stand-up comedy like constantly.
I also did that.
Like,
so there you
Central
go.
was on my dial every day, all day.
Yep.
So like
like
many
Kids in the Hall.
comedians, Kids in the Hall.
Yeah.
Like
Wet Hot American Summer.
Dr.
for
Katz,
me.
professional
Dr.
therapist.
Katz. Yes.
Like tons of stand-up comedians. Like I think about like Chris Rock.
Chris Rock. Yeah, for real.
Like George Carlin.
Yeah, Carlin probably the most for me.
God, I can't even pick the most. Like when Dave Chappelle came along, I feel like Dave Chappelle super influenced me.
Yeah, Dave Chappelle came along and it was like, oh my god, like this is just a home run every single
there
day.
is a new level of comedy.
Yeah, it's been set. Sorry, everybody else. Yeah,
There's like so many influences on me. Really, it's difficult.
yeah. I don't know if I could pick like one. I just liked comedy, and the making of comedy was fascinating to me, and still
love
is.
making people laugh.
Yeah,
Like,
I like being ridiculous, and I think that being ridiculous, like a lot like punk music and a lot like rap music. Fuck it, why not? Why shouldn't you, right?
yeah, there's a level of like complete freedom when you just like,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna be ridiculous. I don't care.
Yeah. Like who says like I can't do this, right? Like that's my thing.
There's like an anti-establishment type of thing to it, since
Yeah.
the whole idea of establishment is like stodgy and humorless.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, man. I don't know. A lot of things. Too many to name. A lot of like
I feel like I'm
like
forgetting like giant influences now.
yeah.
Like,
I don't know.
Seinfeld.
Yeah, Seinfeld. I used to just like watch comedy all the time. I don't even know who they were most of the time. Just watched comedy.
Yeah, I think about all the comedians I watched like really late at night, like on Lounge Lizards on Comedy Central.
Lounge Lizards. Do you remember on you might be a little young.
I'm only a couple years younger than you.
Well, I was really kind of little when I remember this, but I remember on VH1 they used to show comedians
Oh, yeah.
at night. Yeah, I used to watch that too. Like Rosie O'Donnell hosted like a comedy thing, and I remember watching that. I don't know, man. It's just too many things.
It's really difficult for me to like pick out the one that I think represents my sense of humor the most.
Yeah, I don't know if
Because I'm
there's
like a
one
bunch
thing.
of little parts put together, I think.
Yeah, I think people would probably say I'm more Louis C.K.
Yeah,
because
that's
of
just
the
'cause
way
you're
that I.
both red-haired,
Yeah, it's redheaded racism.
fucking red hairs.
It's super redheaded racism. What you just said.
That's such a red hair thing to say.
Oh my god, we are entering uncomfortable territory right now with the amount of racism.
Fucking primary color haired motherfucker.
What?
Okay. Do you find personal influences or media-based influences have had a more profound impact on your
Oh my
sensibilities,
God.
personalities, and worldviews? Yeah.
I don't.
It's hard to escape that, I think, for
How-
anybody.
I don't know if I would know that. I don't think that I could objectively look at that. I don't know. I don't have any
There's that
idea.
whole thing that, like, we have no idea what our actual personalities are.
Right.
Like,
we're
only
not.
you
We're not
guys
ourselves.
know that.
Well, yeah. That's yeah. I don't know. I don't know.
You can
can't-
tell us what comedians you think we're like. That'd be fun.
Right. I don't. I couldn't say. I don't.
It's like we know each other's personalities. It's just we're kind of ballparking that we have the same one almost.
Right. Because it's like the closest thing to another you, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's like that's why people are friends. Like that's the whole thing with friendship. It's like, oh, this person's kind of like me enough ways that I could be with them.
It's like overall personality overlap, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
If that's too heavy and unfunny, I have some Boston Sean Dupree's patented pitch it or ditch it. TM.
Oh my god.
1. Sliders. The cast from Sliders slides into a legally distinct Star Trek dimension.
Oh my god.
This dimension's Maximilian Arturo is the captain of the Enterprise equivalent with Quinn and Wade on his bridge. The Sliders
can't
must help
believe-
him in a standoff with a Klingon bird of prey led by this dimension's Rembrandt Brown.
I can't believe I remember the characters that you're talking about from that show.
I can't either. Like, what the...
I remember them.
why
I
do-
remember that shit.
Why do I remember them? Is what my question, like... I can
That was a
believe,
show,
I can
man.
believe someone who isn't me would remember it, but the fact that I
Not me.
remember it is
Not myself.
Not Jeff.
No, not Jeff.
I will. Fuck, I haven't watched Sliders in so long, but fuck it, I'll pitch it.
Yeah, fuck it. I want to see some more sliders. I don't care. Sliders.
2, Quantum Leap. Scott
That's
Bakula
Enterprise.
quantum leaps into Data and must help him in a situation that would be greatly aided by emotions. Scott can remember emotions, but inside Data's robot brain can't actually feel them anymore.
I'm gonna ditch it because that would mean that Data is a person, and we don't know that.
Wow. Wow! We had a whole episode about this, Josh. It's called Measure of a Man.
Well, that he's compatible with, like, a human? I don't know.
He's sexually
Is he?
compatible with a
Well,
human.
sure. So is a fucking dildo.
He's fully functional.
So's a dildo.
That means he can jizz.
Well, so can some dildos, Jeff. I don't know if you've seen this thing called porn.
Look, I'm not trying to judge dildos on their accuracy to human condition or not, alright? I'm just saying Data is fully functional, and that means he's a fully functional person.
But does that mean that a human can quantum leap inside of them? I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm not
That's
willing
a-
to...
I want to know the answer to that.
I'm not willing to be the decider, so I'm not going to shoot that
I'm
episode
gonna
of
say
a show.
pitch it.
I'm going to say ditch it.
I'm gonna play God. I say pitch it. 3. Quantum Leap again.
Oh my god.
Scott Bakula quantum leaps into Scott Bakula from Enterprise and must keep the show from being canceled.
He already did that in Quantum Leap, the show. He quantum leaps into himself.
Why didn't he just stay there?
Because he's a little kid.
So?
It's my favorite episode of the show. It's amazing.
He could just grow up.
He quantum leaps into himself, and it's before, like, the Beatle, like, John Lennon dies, and he plays Imagine for his sister, and she, like, doesn't believe him. She's like, what is with all, like, she's like, why do you keep saying, like, all this crazy shit? Like, you're being crazy. And he plays Imagine, and she starts crying, because she knows, like, he's, like, how can anyone just play that song? She's never heard it before, but she knows, right?
Oh, wow.
It's incredible. You should watch. I'll send you the
good,
scene.
Man.
Yeah, it's really good.
Thanks for reading my words on the internet, and thanks for making what's now one of my favorite podcasts.
Oh, yeah.
Yours, etc., Matt.
Thank you, Matt.
Matt, thank you. That was one of my favorite emails.
Good email.
That was a deep one. Our final... No, it's not our final one. Our next
Oh, my
email-
God.
God damn, we got so many emails this time. This is going to be a long-ass episode.
It's a long one.
Our next email is from TJ Kelly,
Hi.
who says, Hi, Jeff and Josh. I'd say Trek Boys, but I don't want Josh to get tired of it yet.
Trek boys.
Trek Boys.
Sliders.
Guy with the dope 80s name here again. TJ Kelly is a super 80s name.
Hey, when are you gonna fight the guy Jake Ryan for Molly Ringwald? That's from the 80s. When are you gonna fight him?
Dude, your 80s references are fucking on point.
Dude, I watched him.
I know the 80s.
You think you know the 80s?
Think again.
Think again.
Really
Pussy.
enjoying pussy. Really enjoying the format of the show now that we ran out of films. I recently acquired access to a popular streaming service, name redacted until they give you some shield money.
Give us money.
So since then, I've been watching DS9 for the first time. I'd only watched through TNG and a handful of TOS episodes before now. I think I was tainted by the whole Voyager stigma and assumed the other series were subpar, but I was
That was
definitely
wrong.
Ooh,
Yeah, see?
you know.
I know.
Thank you both for giving me an excuse to quit being lazy and watch it.
Yeah. Anytime we can give somebody an excuse to quit being lazy and watch a television show, I'm into it.
You're welcome, TJ.
Thanks, TJ Ryan. Now go drive away in your Porsche.
Now that the show will follow a non-linear format, how do you plan to handle spoilers?
We don't.
We say spoiler alert before we say a spoiler, and it's fucking your fault now if you get spoiled.
Yeah, there's too many like things to talk about. Like I don't think we could
spoil like big things.
Yeah.
But like
We'll try
small
not
shit
to.
that doesn't really matter, we'll be spoiling. So
Yeah.
Listen at your own risk, I guess.
Yeah, sorry.
I know this was touched on slightly in the DS9 episode, but I was curious what your thoughts were. I've been resorting to making stupid noises to drown out your voices when I hear the word spoilers on episodes.
There you go.
I listen on my commute. I could just mute the radio, but that wouldn't be as fun.
I wish we they could like
fucking see him going blah, 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 blah.
they should just send us recordings of themselves doing that, and I'll edit them in at those points.
Perfect.
I'm not going to do that.
No, he'll do it. He'll do it if he wants to stay on the podcast.
Uh-oh, bye. See you next podcast.
Also, my Boston Sean's Pitch It or Ditch It.
Shit.
Number 1, TNG. The Enterprise encounters an exact copy of the Enterprise D while passing an unknown planet. Scans show evidence of only one life form inside. Data. Worf and expendable crewmen go to investigate. They find exact copies of the entire Enterprise crew. Data's copy is picked up by sensors as the only living humanoid creature.
What?
If not a good idea, assume that Riker does not have a beard in this episode.
That's really fucking funny. That sounds great. I think there's a lot there.
I would definitely pitch that one.
Pitch it, for sure.
2, TNG. The Enterprise encounters a force field in space that disrupts their navigation controls and are quickly hailed by a nearby starship warning them to turn back. The starship explodes.
What?
From the debris emerges the disembodied head of Night Court's own John Larroquette, demanding fun facts to quench his thirst for knowledge, else the Enterprise will meet the same fate.
Oh my god. I don't think John Larroquette could be that evil.
He's too good.
He's too nice.
He played an asshole on Night Court, so I'm gonna say pitch it.
Pitch it. Yeah.
God, I gotta have my John Larroquette facts. Everybody knows that.
For real.
Everybody knows that about me.
Everybody knows. I thought you were doing like a Bush, like a George Bush Sr. Everybody knows that about me.
Wouldn't be prudent.
That's really good. That was really good. I like it.
Our next email is from Sebastian Bustos,
Hi.
who says, "My dearest Trek boys,
Hi.
I hate writing these fan letter write-in things telling you guys how much I like your shit, but I'm gonna do it anyways. I like your shit."
Yay!
Woo!
Thank you.
I, like many others apparently, found your show through following Josh in his work, specifically hearing him mention it on Cracking the Spine.
There you go.
But I'm only a few episodes in, and I'm already starting to be really fond of Jeff as well.
Duh.
Aww. Warms my coal-black heart.
Yeah.
I love... Yeah.
Yeah.
I love
He's emotionless.
I love TNG, and Josh is one of the main reasons, as I decided to give it a chance in order to listen along the syndication station when it was coming out.
Oh, shit.
R.I.P. BRB pouring out some Romulan ale for my dead show.
Oh, my. Don't waste it. It's illegal.
It's fucking banned in the Federation. You better just drink it up.
Cuban cigars, which maybe it'll be illegal soon again.
Now I've decided to give this show and the other Star Trek series a chance. While I originally approached the show as a methadone, now that the crack rock of syndication station and fantasy fiction are gone forever, it's quickly gotten me addicted in its own right.
Yeah, methadone is addicting.
Yeah, get that meth addiction.
Yeah, do some math.
I guess I have a couple questions I could propose. Feel free to skip if you've gotten them already.
Okay.
If you could live in the Star Trek universe as any race besides human, what would it be? As much as I love Vulcans, I don't know if I'd want to be one.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd want to be one either. Sex only every 7 years kind of sounds
not
terrible.
true.
I already lived that life, so.
That's not even true. Like, the guy who wrote the episode where they talk about Pon farr even said that he didn't understand why people construed that as being they only have sex.
Yeah,
every
it's just
7
that
years.
they need to then,
Yeah,
right? Like
they
it's
get,
not
like,
right.
Human fucking emotions for that
Yeah,
time.
they get fevered up.
Yeah.
They get bone fever.
God, everybody's has bone fever.
I love Andorians, but I don't want to be one because they live on a shitty ice moon.
Yeah, but you'd love it.
I don't like cold.
But you wouldn't feel it, right? Because the Andorians, like, are completely unaffected by extreme heat and cold.
Yeah, I guess. Like, man, I get to tap that blue antenna ass all day
There
long.
you go.
Andorian.
It's weird that I think about it. Like, there are so many times in my life where I was just super fucking angry.
Yeah.
Where I just felt terrible. And, like, being a Vulcan would be awesome because you don't ever have to go through any of that. You can just suppress it and be like, nope. Don't feel
Yeah,
that
but
way.
you'd have to. I guess you'd be better equipped. But what if you weren't?
Yeah.
My luck, I'd be the one who wasn't. You know.
That'd be fucking Cybok.
Yeah. Then you gotta go to Nimbus and ride a horse or something.
A horse that's like a regular Earth horse, even though it's in space.
It's a space Earth horse. We could ask Zane the breed. She knows about that.
She loves your horse questions.
Yeah, she sure does. Wow.
I don't know. If I'll go with Vulcan. Why not? I'd be like half human Vulcan and just be like human. Fuck it. Whatever.
I'm going Andorian, baby. I'm a real moody boy. Get out of my way, I'm blue and mad.
If they were to create an alternate universe TNG movie similar to 2009, puke at the very thought, who would you want cast as the crew? I would want a bullet cast into my brain.
Yes, please. 2 bullets into my brain also. Yeah, that would be horrible. That's not.
I don't even
no.
want to entertain that thought.
Yeah, we're not gonna talk about that. I just got scared and afraid and I'm angry now.
I'm very afraid. I'm very afraid.
I need an adult.
I would give you some pitch it or ditch it, but I'm writing this at 3 a.m. and my brain don't work so good.
That's
right
okay.
now.
We're recording this at 3 a.m.
Yeah, Jesus. Also, I had a thought. Why not name the email segment / shows something relevant to the Star Trek universe, like incoming transmission or hailing frequencies open? The current name, while to the point, is a little bland. The main podcast name is sick, though. Because both of those are already taken, and so is every other name that has to do with transmissions or subspace or hailing frequencies.
We're gonna call it Carrier Pigeons.
Like, I didn't start with M-Class Podcast. I ended up on that one because all the names that have anything to do with communication in the Star Trek universe are gone.
Yeah. I think he meant the email one, though, right?
Yeah.
We're not changing it, though.
Nah. We'd have to, like, rebrand every episode that came before this, and I'm not doing that shit.
What do they call, like, mail in Star Trek? Just call it mail?
I guess. The subspace messages.
Subspace? Yeah, I guess subspace. I don't know.
I mean, Subspace Messages is already a podcast. And so is
that's a dumb
Incoming
name
Transmission and Hailing Frequencies Open.
Yeah, we should just name it to 69 Star Trek 420 Smoke Weed Cast. Also, we answer your questions here.
That'll definitely fit into the block that they give you for your name on iTunes.
It needs some work.
We'll pare it down a little bit. We're going to call it Star Trek Podcast. I'm rambling, so I'll wrap it up. Thanks for making dope content, guys. Feel free to use / read as much or as little of this email as possible. I know I went on for a bit.
No, you're good. Thank you.
Peace and long life, Sebastian Bustos. Live long
Thank
and
you.
prosper, buddy.
Also, Ponfar it up, boys.
Get that bone fever.
Fight with a Lerpa.
P.S. to Josh, not a day goes by that I don't miss Reese's the Wise and that other old guy whose name I'm not sure I'm allowed to say. R.I.P.
Oh man, Reese's. He might come back at some point.
Reese's the Wise is not dead forever.
Don't, he's around.
Our next email is from Jack Carpenter, who is
Oh, yeah.
who is a good boy, who says, "Sup, track bros."
That's not okay. What's up?
So I'm not gonna go too in depth about Voyager pilot because I'm sure y'all's take is gonna be similar to mine. It's awesome and super cool fun.
Yep, there it is. Episode over.
no.
Don't even listen to the podcast.
No, but it really sucks. I'm currently halfway through the end of season 7, and good God, is it a struggle to work through.
Yeah, there's a lot of seasons and episodes that honestly I just skip over when I watch it. Because I'm like, I don't care about this. I don't care about this, you know.
Anyway, I have a pitch it or ditch it for y'all.
Go.
And it's a real one this time. Not like the
Okay.
last one I sent you, which was just an excuse for me to throw shade at Harry Kim. By the way, he's still a baby-backed bitch. Fight me in real life, Garrett Wang.
He might.
Fight me IRL, Garrett Wang.
Garrett Wang, come on, do it, fight him. Do it. I know you're listening.
Okay, he's a big fan of us making fun of his character endlessly.
He probably loves it.
Okay, so here's my thought. It takes place during DS9 during the whole changeling scare back on Earth, and it follows a Federation agent who's tasked with tracking down changelings. I feel that it would make for a creepy mystery detective story, and could really give us a good look at the Federation during what I see as one of its most paranoid times. I'm sure there'd be a lot of cool possibilities to do the whole are they or are they not a changeling. Perhaps the main character agent guy could question if they're a changeling. Oh no, I made Blade Runner!
Oh no, it's Battlestar Galactica.
Be right back getting sued by Ridley Scott. But seriously, I think a story like that could be cool to see in the Trek universe. I know that the idea kind of already exists in DS9 from time to time, but I'd like to see a more focused story on one guy following that through. Thoughts?
Yeah, you could do that. I would like that a lot. He could be finding changelings everywhere. Like there'd have to be like a main changeling, like one of them, right?
I mean, the one changeling says there's two of them on the planet.
Right.
So
right now, yeah.
I could be finding the other one.
Yeah. I think that would be cool. I'd be in it.
Yeah, I'd watch that. I don't know about it just being a rando.
Yeah,
like,
if
it was
somebody.
Odo, I'd be into it.
That would be cool. Yeah.
And he's like using his knowledge of himself to try and find the changeling.
Right. And he could do some changeling stuff, like turn into a bag like he loves to do.
He could turn into a bag full of latinum.
They keep talking about the Cardassian neck trick that he does, but it's like, what about the bag tricks that he does?
He becomes like a dozen different bags.
He's got all kinds of bag repertoire up in his skill set.
Like, he can't make a nose correctly, but he could make 30 different bags.
He can make like an elaborate buckle on a bag, but he can't make a fucking nose.
Whatever.
Hey, whatever.
Thanks for writing in, Jack. I appreciate it.
Great.
Our actual last email of the night.
Holy mother of God.
Is from someone whose name is literally Trendy Moron. I didn't make that up.
That sounds like a real name.
Trendy Moron.
Oh, from the New York City morons?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, they're rich.
God, fucking Rockefeller moron over here. Dear Jeff and Josh, we are told that space is the final frontier, but what about interdimensional exploration? Alternate dimensions in the Star Trek universe have been visited repeatedly via anomalies and transporter malfunctions, so apparently all it would take is a minor tweak to some 120-year-old transporter technology for the Federation to open up a whole new frontier of infinite possibilities.
Well, what's more infinite than infinite, though? So that's the thing, right? Like that's the thing about space. Like, big is small. Like, the farther you go out, the smaller things get, and also the bigger things get, right? So that's what infinity is. It's both directions. It's not...
Yeah, space is already infinite. Like, even if there are infinite alternate realities, space is already infinite in itself.
Yeah, you're already reaching the infinity, right? That's the thing. Like, what was the email about the Voyager, like, warp 9.75? Like, the answer to that one would be there's an infinite amount of numbers between 9.975 and 9.999. Mm-hmm. That's how it works. That's how space works too. Like, you can get smaller dimensionally, or you can get larger, but either way you go, it's infinite.
Yeah,
right.
We're right in the middle of a scale of infinity on both sides.
Yeah, we're just scalar. It's a scalar problem. It's not like a move left problem. It's a scale problem.
And it's like, so why do these brilliant Starfleet officers, men and women of science all, consistently fail to realize the possibilities that their excursions into parallel universes represent? Is the Federation right to restrict their expeditions to interstellar space, or is it time to start diving where spaceships are only skimming the surface? Yours in this and all other dimensions, Trendy Moron.
I think, like...
I feel like you're putting the cart before the horse on this one.
Yeah, like, they're not that good at... It's... Go ahead. Maybe you can... I know what you're going to say. You explain it, Jeff.
Like, I feel like what you were getting at is, like, the technology is accidental at this point.
Right.
And even if it was perfected, like, these other dimensions, we know absolutely nothing about it at this point. We don't have
Right.
the studies necessary. Like, there were hundreds of years of studies of space and space travel
Right.
before we sent the first rocket up.
Right, we had to build a rocket before we could have the Enterprise.
Yeah.
And just like that, like there needs to be science done
Yeah,
on
I mean-
interdimensional travel before people start going over there and shaking hands with whatever the fuck, you know.
We could try and perfect that transporter technology to go into another dimension and rip time and space apart itself.
Yeah, you could like destroy the whole universe, like nobody knows,
Process.
right?
And for what is my question? To see
Yeah.
a slightly different version of your own dimension where you got a goatee? Like, dimensions in Star Trek are exact copies of one another where something is slightly different.
It's the multiverse, right? There's a
Yeah.
dimension where you and I own Ferraris. There's a dimension where I'm sitting where you're sitting and you're sitting where I'm sitting, right?
Yeah.
Like it's at what point are you like, well, whatever, like we just have to study this iteration of the universe, you know?
Like, Starfleet's entire modus operandi is discovering new planets and new civilizations out in space. Their organization has nothing to do with interdimensional travel. Like, if another organization wants to get into that, that's fine.
Right.
But I don't.
That's a more
see-
scientific endeavor, specialty. Starfleet's a large blanket, and you're talking about something specific, I think, right? Like, it would be a section of Starfleet
Yeah.
that would do that.
I mean, also, I just don't see the sense in it exactly.
Yeah.
Like, dimensions are so separated. Like, you can go to a dimension and meet aliens and create some sort of, like, cohabitation with them or whatever, but you don't really share an existence with them.
Right. If that were true, like, in our real life, like, there's people who believe, like, aliens are interdimensional. Like, okay, fine, whatever. But, like, the fact is, like, then our idea of space would just change. We would just include those things.
Yeah.
Like, there are portals or whatever to other places. Okay, well, then that's a thing that happens. But, like, it's not, like... I don't...
I guess I just
I
don't
don't
see
know.
the sense in it, really. I mean,
Yeah. I like how you're like, I don't see the sense in it.
maybe I'm old fashioned. I'm old Starfleet.
Maybe I'm an
fashioned.
old-fashioned spaceship kind of
Yeah,
guy.
maybe I'm an old fashioned, like, exploring our own universe kind of guy.
Yeah, I mean, they do run into, like, weird shit like that, but a lot of it, like you're saying, like, if you happen to run into, like, a spatial anomaly or whatever, that's a spatial anomaly, like...
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing about the transporter technology malfunctioning and sending them to alternate dimensions is
Right.
that there is an interdimensional anomaly happening at the time.
Right.
Is why. It's not just the transporter doing that.
Yeah, I feel like... I feel like it's a scalar problem. It's we're living on this scale, and we tend, as human beings, to think, like, well, this is reality. But, like... we don't know, you know, like we're just seeing our microscopic viewpoint of the universe. So like, what's to say if you go to another dimension that you wouldn't be on another scale and like, maybe you'd be giant there.
No, that's the
or
thing
maybe
to
you
think about is like, we don't know if another dimension has the same matter physical properties as
physics.
ours.
Yeah, physics could be crazy.
Like, you could go into that dimension and immediately just be ripped apart atom by
Right.
atom.
Or just be vaporized, or just be fucking like sucked into a black hole, or like, who knows? Like who even fucking knows?
And there's the dangers in regular space travel to consider. But again, in space travel, you share a universe with these other races. Extending your hand out to them in brotherhood makes sense to me.
right.
It feels more like you're like going on someone else's property.
It
the
feels
difference
unnatural.
It's the difference
Yeah.
between going out into the middle of the cul-de-sac, I guess, and like shaking
Yeah.
hands with people, and like going into someone's yard, like house, and trying to
House.
shake hands with.
When they're asleep at night.
Yeah, it's
Being like, hey, nice to meet you.
it's a different world, right? It's a different existence.
It's Stranger Things. Like, sometimes you don't want to open that hole, man.
Yeah,
You know?
it's true.
There could be some shit over there.
I don't know.
You don't want it to come over here.
I'm the stodgy old admiral that's like, I just don't see sense in it.
Cell phones.
Back in my day, we just went from planet to planet and said hello.
Oh, Grandpa Admiral, you're crazy. Grandpa
Our
Admiral.
phasers only had 3 settings.
Stun, mild, and spicy.
P.S. Pitch it or ditch it.
Okay.
The Doctor lends his mobile emitter to Vic Fontaine, who becomes the Federation's official ambassador to the Borg Queen in a last-ditch effort to defeat the Borg with sheer charm.
Dude, Vic, I love Vic.
Vic is great. I fucking
I
love Vic.
love him.
Even though
but
Vic makes no sense whatsoever.
it'd be stupid to send that mobile emitter over to the Borg.
Yeah,
No.
that would be a mistake.
They'd be like, oh, what is this thing from 1,000 years from now that we can assimilate? Oh, good. We know how to do this now.
Oh, a mobile emitter. Oh, well, now we can just fucking mobile emit our Borg into other ships.
Yep. Upsies, we're the Borg. We don't care.
We can just mobile emit Borg equipment into your fucking body now.
Oh my god. What if we're already all Borg?
I'm fine with that.
Good, because we are.
Oh no, I'm not really fine.
You lied.
It's part of my Borg programming.
Shit, you are a Borg. This dude's a Borg.
This motherfucker's a Borg.
This guy's Borging out over here.
That was our last email, and holy shit, this is a 2-hour-long program.
That was long emails.
We appreciate all the emails you guys sent in. They were all fun as fuck.
Yeah, they're really good this week.
And if you would like to send in an email yourself and have us read it on the air like we did those 40 or however many we just did,
40!
then you could send it on over to mclassemail@gmail.com. You can follow us on Twitter at mclasspodcast.
Yeah.
Or you can just follow me or Josh if you hate one of us.
Or you could go to the YouTube and subscribe to the M-Class podcast on the YouTube.
You can subscribe to us on iTunes.
And write a review. Can be mean or nice, I don't care.
Yeah, tell us we suck dick. I don't care.
Yeah,
I don't
I mean,
I
don't.
don't give a fuck what you say, but please review us.
I don't give a fuck about your opinion. Please give me reviews.
We'll see you again, hopefully in 2 weeks.
Isn't that just the way of things?
Yeah. Yeah.
See you in 2 weeks, everybody. It's real late.
Hopefully we'll see you in 2 weeks. If not, wait for it longer. It'll happen.
Just wait. Be patient.
We love all of you. And live long and give us money.
Oh, love those Trek boys.
Trek boys! Bye, everybody.
Bye.